Welcome to our channel, where we dive deep into the heart of television's most gripping dramas. Here, we don't simply summarize, we peel back the layers, expose the raw emotions, and reveal the chaos simmering beneath the surface. Today, we return to Beyond the Gates, where betrayal, anger, and hidden truths continue to tear at the very foundations of the Dupree community. What follows is not just a retelling, but a journey through the storm of conflicting desires and destructive choices, where no one emerges unscathed. The episode begins with an atmosphere charged by tension that has been building for weeks, all converging on a single confrontation that would shake the fragile balance within the Dupree family. Naomi, known for her ability to keep appearances in public, finally finds herself at breaking point when forced to face Andre, the new presence inside the Dupree world. His arrival was never smooth, his role within the family shrouded in doubt and suspicion. What begins as subtle friction erupts into a blazing conflict, fueled by Naomi's simmering resentment and Andre's quiet but calculated attempts to assert his position. The air around them thickens with hostility as accusations without words spill into the silence of their glances, each gesture more violent than speech could ever be. Naomi's fury is not only directed at Andre, but at the entire unsettling disruption his presence represents. She carries the weight of tradition, of control, of the Dupree name that she feels slipping from her grasp. In Andre she sees intrusion, a threat to her identity, and her anger becomes a storm too powerful to restrain. The argument escalates until neither can retreat, leaving behind an emotional wreckage that promises consequences reaching far beyond this encounter. While the fire of that clash burns inside the Dupree mansion, another storyline unfolds elsewhere in the community, just as dangerous in its emotional fallout. Dani returns, carrying the kind of presence that can ignite past passions and unresolved wounds. Her re-entry into the lives of those she left behind is anything but quiet. The shadow of her history with Bill hovers like a specter over every interaction. Dani has not come back merely as a visitor, she has returned with intent, to stir what has been buried and to test the bonds that Bill has created with Haley. Bill, trying desperately to maintain the stability of his new life, finds himself drawn into the gravitational pull of Dani's unresolved hold over him. The spark between them refuses to die, and when they come face to face, memories rise unbidden, tearing open wounds they both pretended had healed. What begins as a look, a hesitation, transforms into a dangerous closeness that neither can contain. The kiss that follows is not an expression of love but of confusion, temptation, and betrayal all at once. For Dani, it is a reclamation of power, for Bill, a mistake that cannot be undone, and for Haley, who witnesses the truth in fragments, it is the deepest cut. The bond she believed in becomes poisoned by suspicion, and the betrayal transforms her from trusting partner into a woman consumed by rage and devastation. As these personal storms rage, another, darker current begins to swell beneath the surface. Donnell returns to the gated community not with warmth, but with questions, suspicion, and grief that has hardened into determination. The death of his father, Doug, lingers like a shadow no one wishes to acknowledge, yet Donnell cannot allow silence to bury the truth. His return is not welcomed by all, and among those he suspects most is Joey, whose presence in the community has always carried whispers of dubious connections and unexplained power. Donnell's arrival is not a gentle request for clarity, it is a demand, an intrusion, an interrogation cloaked in grief. He confronts Joey with the weight of anger that only a son betrayed by fate can carry. Each step of their interaction feels like a collision, Donnell's accusations pressing against Joey's defensive walls. The possibility that Joey may have had a hand in Doug's death transforms Donnell's sorrow into rage, a rage that fuels his need for truth at any cost. Joey, trapped by his own secrets and the growing suspicion around him, pushes back, but the cracks in his facade begin to show. The confrontation does not end with resolution, but with a fracture widened, a dangerous tension that promises only more explosive encounters to come. Parallel to this conflict, Vanessa carves her own path into the truth. Unlike Donnell, her approach is not fueled by anger alone but by a need to understand, to piece together the fragments of what happened to Doug. She finds herself drawn closer to Jacob, whose connection to the Hawthorne family places him at the intersection of knowledge and complicity. Together, they walk through the echoes of the past, searching for meaning in the silences, in the details others overlook. For Vanessa, each discovery is a dagger twisting deeper into her own uncertainty. What she learns is never clean, never complete, but always enough to suggest the depths of deception surrounding Doug's death. Jacob, meanwhile, becomes both guide and mirror, reflecting back her doubts and fears. Their time together is thick with unspoken truths, the recognition that neither of them may want to face the full weight of what they uncover. Yet step by step, they inch closer to a revelation that could tear apart not only the Dupree family but the entire gated community. The threads of these stories weave together into a tapestry of betrayal and fury. Naomi, consumed by her battle with Andre, spirals deeper into an anger that isolates her from those who might support her. Danny and Bill, caught in the web of a kiss that should never have happened, stand on the edge of ruin as Haley's pain transforms into vengeance. Donnell, unrelenting in his pursuit of truth, digs deeper into Joey's past, forcing secrets toward the surface that were meant to remain buried. Vanessa, with Jacob at her side, begins to glimpse the outlines of a truth so dark it threatens to unravel the very foundations of the community. Each character is caught in a cycle of choices that only amplify their suffering. Naomi cannot let go of her need for control, and in fighting Andre, she risks tearing apart her family. Danny cannot resist the temptation to reassert her place in Bill's life, and in doing so, she destroys Haley's trust. Bill cannot deny the weakness that led him back to Danny, and now he must face the collapse of the stability he fought so hard to create. Haley, wounded and betrayed, carries a new fury that may lead her down a path of destruction. Donnell, blinded by grief and driven by suspicion, refuses to stop until the truth of Doug's death is unearthed, even if it costs him everything. Joey, cornered, cannot maintain his facade forever, and when it breaks, the fallout will consume more than just himself. Vanessa and Jacob, digging through layers of lies, risk discovering that some truths are far more dangerous than ignorance. The gated community, once a symbol of wealth and safety, becomes instead a crucible of destruction. Behind its walls, secrets fester, alliances fracture, and betrayal blooms like a poisonous flower. Each resident is drawn deeper into conflict, and the illusion of harmony dissolves under the relentless weight of suspicion and rage. No one is safe from the consequences of their actions, and no one can escape the reckoning that is coming. By the time the episode closes, the audience is left with the sense that this is only the beginning of the unraveling. Naomi's anger, Danny's temptation, Bill's weakness, Haley's heartbreak, Donnell's vengeance, Joey's guilt, Vanessa's search, and Jacob's quiet complicity all converge into a storm still gathering strength. The community stands on the edge of collapse, and each choice made pushes it closer to the brink. The stage is set for betrayal to deepen, for alliances to shift, and for the truth about Doug's death to explode in ways that no one can predict. And so, as the gates close on this chapter, what remains is the heavy silence of unresolved fury, the bitter taste of betrayal, and the haunting knowledge that every secret still hidden will one day come to light. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the chaos and intensity of Beyond the Gates. If you want to continue exploring every twist, betrayal, and revelation, make sure to follow and subscribe to our channel. The storm inside the gates is only beginning, and you won't want to miss what comes next.